What's up, Wildcats? And welcome back to the MWHS Wildcat News. I'm Cole Filer.
And I'm MADELYN Augustine. On this week's edition, we'll cover
Diabetes Awareness Month,
behind the scenes of the musical Bring It On,
a feature on senior GAGE RUNYAN,
a look into the competition cheer season,
Qdoba versus Chipotle. Roughly 29.1 million people are affected by diabetes in the United States. November has been dedicated as National Diabetes Awareness Month. Bailey Christensen and Mackenzie Gonzalez spread awareness as to how it has affected Millard West students.
Throughout Millard West, each person, whether student or staff member, has a unique characteristic that they carry with them. In the month of November, there are several students and faculty members that can be brought to our attention in order to spread awareness.
Hi, I'm Faith. I have type 1 diabetes.
November is a significant month as it represents those who struggle with diabetes on a daily basis.
The basic that we see in high school is a type 1 diabetes, and that's where your pancreas isn't producing enough insulin. Insulin is used to push the glucose, the sugar, out of the bloodstream into the cells so it's utilized. So if you don't have insulin to push that into the cells, your blood sugar elevates in your blood, causing symptoms, and if left untreated, can be life-threatening.
Even though a person with diabetes cannot be spotted through their physical appearance, it does not take away the intensity of the metabolic disease and the manual labor needed.
Type 1 diabetes is such a difficult disease to manage. Everything affects your blood sugars. Obviously, the food you eat, but it can be exercise, it can be the outdoor temperatures, it can be if you have a cold, it can be if you're tired.
Students go on to explain their biggest hassle with dealing with diabetes on a daily basis.
Sometimes I have to get out of class, go to the nurse, if my blood sugar goes low. So if I'm low at the end of the day at school, I can't drive, so sometimes I'm late to work or missing class for low blood sugars.
Some students have been diagnosed recently, which requires help from other members at Millard West.
We have kids that are newly diagnosed that need a lot of assistance. I've had kids that I've needed to give the actual injections to, help test their blood sugars for, help calculate the carbs that they eat at lunch so they know how much insulin to take. To kids that have diabetes for years since they've been infants and they need little to no assistance at all.
Being a diabetic requires an abundance of different equipment, which can be extremely pricey.
Right now, diabetes is one of the most expensive diseases as far as what patients have to pay.
Diabetes isn't only hard on the diabetic, but also affects loved ones.
Well, I think anytime you have a child that has something that they're battling, it's very hard for a parent because you want to take that on yourself. It's hard that I had to realize that this is something that my son will have for the rest of his life and he'll have to manage. And so it's hard giving him this tremendous responsibility at such a young age. He was diagnosed at 23 months, so of course, you know, as parents we managed it for many years, and now that he's 12, we are really transitioning him to take care of himself and learn healthy habits so he can take care of himself for the rest of his life.
This has been Bailey Christensen and Mackenzie Gonzalez with the MWHS Wildcat News.
Countless hours have been dedicated to the production of Millard West's latest musical, Bring It On. Taylor Mason and Jasmine Hermosillo Padilla take you behind the scenes.
The Millard West Drama Department has been busy preparing for the musical Bring It On. We give you a behind-the-scenes look on what's been going on the past few months.
We started in September with auditions. In the beginning of October, students got their scripts and started learning music. And then as soon as second semester started, we began choreography and blocking rehearsals.
Due to the cheer element in the musical, the audition process was different than other years.
Students had to sing a song and do a scene. And because the show has a cheer element, we also brought out some tumbling mats. And at the end of auditions, we just told people that they were invited to do a tumbling pass, whatever they could do.
With every musical performed at the school, there are many crews working behind the scenes to ensure everything goes as planned.
We plan out makeup charts for all the characters. We help out the cast doing their makeup. We plan out the hair, and sometimes we can help costumes crew as well if they need it.
The costume crew has to find the right costumes to match the rival schools and each character.
With Truman and Jackson, there has to be like a difference between the school and the costumes there, so we've been trying to organize.
Each member of the cast must portray their character during rehearsals. There are practices and choreography every day after school to help prepare for opening night.
I really love the music for this musical. It's so full of energy and the songs are so good. Our show is December 6th, 7th, and 8th at 7 o'clock, and it's December 9th at 2 o'clock, so we're doing 4 performances.
This has been Jasmine Hermosillo and Taylor Mason with the MWHS Wildcat News.
I was recently able to catch up with up-and-coming rapper senior GAGE RUNYAN and learn more about his music. Here's an exclusive interview with Millard West's very own underground artist.
I'm GAGE RUNYAN. I go by Oliver VANDER. I make rap.
Up-and-coming rapper GAGE RUNYAN, under the name Oliver VANDER, has made a name for himself in the underground rap scene in Omaha. Playing shows with notable musicians and joining a collective called Hearse, he has gained a reputation for himself as the next big thing.
Fear, my most recent song, kind of blew up on my kind of level. Still got fear, that's the issue. But I die if I drink more liquor. Yeah, so I like skulls a lot, and I drew this one for my mom for Christmas, and it's dope.
GAGE has had a strong love for music since an early age, but really, it's his art that inspired him to actually start creating his own.
I used to make a lot of concept cover art because I'm good with Photoshop, and I like doing all that stuff, and I'd always have designs, and I'd search on Google and find old car ads and crop them or whatever, make them, they're album art, but I didn't have any music for it, and I just one day I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna try to make something.
The accessibility of technology has made it easier for anyone to start making music. GAGE has used this to his advantage.
To make pretty decent music, you really don't need that much, and I think I proved that. And I'm doing shows, and people are moshing to my music, and it's you'd see that out of someone who's got they've got their own home studio, they got a computer, they go to a studio and record, and they got high-level producers. I produce everything myself on my phone. I record it all on my phone. It sounds pretty good for what I have. And I think that's all that matters, because if you can see that and you can hear it, and you can hear what that person can do and look past that they don't have the accessibility, it's a lot easier than you think. You can do it. Like that, $15, I was done. I don't ever have to pay for it again.
GAGE uses music as an escape. For him, not only is it fun to do, but it's also a way to relieve stress.
This is just stuff that I make in my bedroom that are just thoughts and feelings, and just a way for me to put them out there, so I just kind of stay sane.
This has been Cole Filer with the MWHS Wildcat News.
With 10 national championships under their belt, the competition cheer team is always striving to be better than the year before. Grace Hager and Delaney Richardson get an early look at this year's team and their goals for the season.
As 2019 approaches, the Millard West cheer team kicks off another season. Every year, teams participate in a showing. This gives them the chance to perform their routines without the judges. This took place on November 11th.
Last week we had our first showcase, which was actually not a true competition. It was just an opportunity for teams to go and put their routine out for the very first time, so without the pressure of having judges.
Our showcase is really good because it helps us get out there and show everyone what we're doing.
On Sunday, November 18th, Millard West had their first cheer competition of the season.
Well, for a first competition, there was a couple tumbles and falls and stuff, but that's typical for a first competition.
There's always time and more room to improve throughout the year, so I feel like both were pretty good, but this one was definitely an improvement.
Comparing last week and this week, definitely improvements. Some of the girls definitely focused on all the things that maybe they needed to work on from last week and really applied that to this week and made some definite improvements.
The competition was a success for Millard West. They placed first and also qualified for nationals.
We're also here to get a bid to go to nationals, which means we have to score a certain amount in order to get that bid.
Millard West Cheer has won nationals 10 years in a row. Their goal is to continue this streak by winning their 11th national championship this year.
As long as they can improve each time they go out, I think we're going to be right on track to do well at nationals and state and those really big competitions that we really, all of this is leading us up to that.
We're going for 11 this year. I feel like we have a really good chance as long as we keep pushing hard and working really good.
This has been Delaney Richardson and Grace Hager with the MWHS Wildcat News.
A popular debate on social media and throughout the halls of Millard West is whether or not Qdoba or Chipotle reigns supreme. Dallas Beanham and Matt Pleiss got a few students' verdicts on the topic.
Qdoba and Chipotle have very similar entrees, which can cause their supporters to divide. We asked the Millard West students which restaurant they liked better.
Qdoba because it's like more flavorful and their burrito bowls are good.
I think Qdoba because honestly the quality queso and I get the steak rice bowl.
I like Qdoba better because their queso is better and I get the steak and rice bowl.
The deciding factor for these Qdoba supporters was the queso and the burrito bowls. And now we see the other side of the debate, seeing why Chipotle is a better restaurant.
I like Chipotle better because they have good customer service and I usually get the chicken rice bowl.
Chipotle because I think they're a better restaurant as a whole and their chicken rice bowls are pretty good.
Definitely Chipotle. And I just order it on my phone, just through the Chipotle app, go and pick it up and it's ready when I get there, skip the line. I'm also not going to drive all the way down to Qdoba, which I think the nearest one's all the way by the mall. Nearest Chipotle is right off center. I get 2 burritos, chicken, rice, and cheese with hot sauce on the side. And the customer service is just great. Every time I go in there, I see a smile on every worker's face. Pick my food up, they say, have a great day, and I say, you too.
The battle between these two restaurants will never be resolved among their fans. Each restaurant has their own unique qualities and differences. This has been Dallas Beanham and Matt Pleiss for the MWHS Wildcat News.
That's it for this week, Wildcats. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at MWHS Catalyst.
And for more stories, check out our website at millardwestcatalyst.com.
See you around, Wildcats.